Grace and peace, family. Grace and peace. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. My hotel. Namaste. Free the land, beloved. Come on in, come on in, come on in. This is your sister with the curly braids, Vicki Dillard, and I am so pleased to be with you today on my own channel that I'm growing. Some of you have seen me on multiple platforms, some of which I have helped to build and grow all over the world, but I am giving more attention to my own personal channel. I will be making some important legal announcements coming up soon about programming and some other things that we're going to have to address. So stay tuned for that. I'm making sure, beloved, that I am following all types of policies. And you all know your sister follows the rules. Talk black to me. So I will go over some of that in due course. But I'm so pleased that some of you have joined us today. I have a little bit of a ritual that as you come in, be sure to come in giving us a big thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like, be sure to share. On the count of 3, hit that thumbs up button, would you? 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. I see you, Chicago. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Share, share, share. Share, 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 share. I see you, Michael B1. Somebody said, talk black to me. BB, hey, Vicki, glad to see you. Well, look at you. Somebody says, Conley, good Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Y'all play too much. Elizabeth loves you. I love you back. Fawn, assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam, beloved. Family, come on in, giving us a big thumbs up, share, 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 share the broadcast. I have some very, very important breaking news. And of course, at the time I would say this, I hear the emergency, I hear the ambulance and so forth. Beloved, let me tell you something. This is an emergency. Somebody said this is an emergency. Now I'm gonna need y'all to put the gavels in the chat. Y'all know that the Vicki show was the OG, the home of the hand claps and the gavel raps. You all know that I got that revelation many years ago, long before I ever came on these social media platforms. I don't care how many platforms you've seen me on, how many networks you've seen me on that didn't belong to me, but that I substantially contribute to and grew in their businesses. Beloved, you all know that I brought the gavel with me from a supernatural revelation that I received. Beloved, because I want you to know that your word matters. The gavel is a spiritual symbol. It's a magical symbol, but it's also a natural symbol that your policymakers and your lawmakers and your judges use. But I want you to know that your word matters and you make matters. Talk black to me. I see my moderator and my soul sister, Sharita. Good to see you too, beloved. Everybody hit that thumbs up button. Share, 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 share. Beloved, I am so excited. I'm starting to see more and more people register for the most exciting cosmic event of the year. And that is indeed your royal bloodline and webinar coming up. Mark your calendars. Sunday, November 5th. Get your seat now. Don't play with it, family. I know some of you all are telling me you're going to get your paycheck coming soon and all that. But if you got it now, go ahead and get your seat now for the sake of you and your entire lineage. I say this often, but this is a quote that is so true. If you want something you never had, you got to do something you've never done. Let me say it again. If you want something you never had, you've got to do something you've never done. You've got to keep yourself in a position of power that taps you into other dimensions. I teach my spiritual students, by the way, I'm going to be starting my spiritual school over again, but I had to go through certain protocols because there are certain collaborations that I'm connected to that I unfortunately are having some things that are beyond me right now. So there's things that are beyond my controls, but I'm going to be starting in due course my monthly course back on my at VickiPlanet.com, my own website under Vicki University. One of the things that I teach my students in my spiritual courses that I've been teaching for many years, I had a whole school that I would teach in person years and years ago before I ever came to social media. And I have graduating students that have learned from your sister with the curly braids who don't, I don't lay claim to anybody's special system. I just know that I have a unique assignment on the planet. And I have a particular pattern that I was engaged and contracted from the ethers to implement on the earth. And I'm real good at it. And signs and wonders follow me. So black to me. But one of the things I teach my students is about the importance of what you do spiritually and understanding that the word ritual is in the word spiritual. There's a connection there. I said the word ritual is in the word spiritual. There are some things that some of us spiritual folks do that can affect the natural realm. You don't just get to throw your middle finger up and say that because your open enemy messed up our religions that you're going to throw everything away. No, they made it into a system. They are the ones that made it corrupt. But some of the ancient practices by which they still rule the world, but using different names, it's originally your very black magic. And they got you to say that your ancestors are demonic when they have erected all types of streets, libraries, museum, buildings with their ancestors' name on it, and half of them they lying about. They've erected all kinds of statues. Watch this. And when you use the U.S. currency, you're engaging in their ancestors' worship, because it bears their image. You ain't ready for that. But they tell you your ancestors. They tell me if you worship your ancestors, that's demonic. Nobody's number one talking about worshiping. We're talking about reverencing your ancestors. But the ancestors are deeper than what you think. And most of the folks that's saying it got some kind of biblical, Christian, Bible connection. So that's the reason why I use the scripture to help you understand the dysfunction that they got you in with it. There's some magic in it because some of it was taken from more ancient texts and from even black prophecies. Some of the prophecies that you find in there are actually prophecies that they stole from the ancient black symbols that I'm going to be talking about on Sunday, November 5th. Get your seat. The link is above. Hit that link in the chat. Shout out to my sister Aquarius 79. Everybody hit that thumbs up button, share. Get your seat today. You don't understand that the world is being ruled by codes, all types of codes. Do you know that in law, when there's a citation, when there's a set of numbers, when there's a set of, in some instances, letters to get you to reference something, do you all know that even in the court of law, they refer to those things as codes? Y'all ain't ready for this. There are codes that are already in your bloodline. There are codes that's in your unique melanin also. But we've been programmed a certain way, but there's some high-level magic that we can do to reprogram ourselves. Once we do that, beloved, those of us that they said were the tail become the head. Those of us that were beneath, we're going to be above. Those of us that they consider to be nobodies and everything else, we are the new world rulers. If this is for you, this is only for the people that's ready to do something powerful. You better get ready to get your seat today and make the investment in yourself. For November 5th, Sunday, November 5th, the link is above. Divine Feminine Warrior Goddess Vicki is looking healthy, wealthy, and wise. I receive all that love and so many of your other yummy compliments, beloved. Your honored ladies and gentlemen, friends in the spirit, I'm happy to find this amazing opportunity to change and grow my mind. Ashe. Thank you, everybody, for hitting that thumbs up button and share. Now, I'm only really here to do this breaking news, which, of course, I found out about it a few days ago, but I didn't get a chance to come to the audience over the weekend about it. So I want to briefly talk to you about it today. For those of you that may or may not be familiar with me, I had a formal relationship with the Nation of Islam some years ago. I have now an informal relationship, notwithstanding. I am one of their biggest advocates, and I love the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan because of the work, the unmatched work they've done for the Black men and the Black woman here in the United States, and was served as the inspiration for so many changes and progressions on all of the planet, frankly. Well, if you know anything about media, for so many decades, they have demonized and blacklisted Minister Farrakhan. Some of you may or may not know that many years ago, he used to be on some of the most popular television shows. He was regularly on other very large platforms like Meet the Press. That wasn't unusual, right? And they got their most litigious and their best minds to try to debate him and to catch him in a question or put him in a circumstance or a situation to where he would be more hated or look ignorant before the world. And every single time, Minister Farrakhan made them all look crazy. So what does your open enemy do when they know they can't win with the war of words? What does your open enemy do when they don't have truth on their side, so they have to lie? What do they do when they know that they have that black magic, where we have a unique power that comes from our mouths, and a consciousness and a vibration and a frequency that we operate in that's unmatched. What do they do, family? Even when you try to set a trap for them, the trap never works. Talk black to me, somebody. They blacklisted him. They stopped bringing him on because they tried to make him look crazy. Hey, Naturally Tour. They tried to make him look crazy. They failed. No matter who they brought at him, no matter how quote unquote tough the questions are, no matter how many gotcha questions they got. Minister Farrakhan, even when they came for him, when they put him on those platforms, he became more and more likable. And even people that hated him ended up hearing his truth. That's a type of magic. So instead, they stopped bringing him on the platforms altogether. And for a long time, people used to say, some folks, I would hear some folks say years and years ago, because they didn't see Minister Farrakhan in some of these public places anymore, they were asking if Minister Farrakhan was even alive. This is how your open enemy works. Talk black to me, somebody. Y'all already know what time it is. Well, for so many decades, they called black folks anti-Semitic. And they would take certain clips, they would take certain things, put it out there and tell us this is what he said. And a lot of times we know those were lies, or they were taken out of context, right? Well, I love you back. I love you back, sis. Well, I want you to look at this breaking news. Do you all see this headline, this press release? Let me turn it this way. I'm gonna read it to you. I want y'all to see this press release. Everybody be sure to hit that thumbs up button, family. Come on in, hit that thumbs up button, share. Thank you so much, family, for tuning into my personal channel here at VickiDillard.tv. Again, I know some of you are used to seeing me on other platforms, and I'm still on some other networks and platforms, but there are going to be some programming changes. There's going to be some public legal announcements that I'm going to have to make to let the public know, but I'm following all of the rules. Me and my team, y'all know your sister with the curly braid. I'm the most loyal. I'm the most, there's not a greater business partner anywhere on the planet. So you all know that I have been giving my time, my very life force into other businesses and network, and it's time for me to do that for myself. So I'll be making some upcoming announcements soon. So thank you so much for helping me grow my personal channel here. Again, you'll still see me on some other platforms, but there are going to be some changes soon. Meanwhile, I'm going to be building mine here on YouTube. And then, of course, you can follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. You can follow me on TikTok at I Am Vicki Dillard. On Twitter at Dillard Vicki, and I got a couple Facebook pages. Just make sure it's the legit Facebook pages, and make sure you ain't following no frauds out there that want to be Vicki Dillard. Do you all see this press release? Family, what does a press release description say? I pulled it up a little bit so you can see it. What does a press release description say? Let me pull it up some more. Can you all see that? Everybody hit that thumbs up button, please. Share. And be sure to subscribe. By the way, I just hit 50,000 subscribers on my channel. Thank you so much, family. Thank you so much. Now watch this. Do y'all see what it says? Press release from the Nation of Islam. What date is the press release? Like I said, I knew about this a couple days ago when it was released, but I was waiting to come live so I could share it with you. So that was released on October 21st. So it just happened, right? I know that's right. Put them celebratory emojis in the chat. And thank you all so much for congratulating me. I know some of y'all like, what's the big deal about that? Family, I'm on big other platforms that y'all are used to seeing me on. So me giving attention to my own, it's a big deal for me. So thank you so much. Listen. Somebody said, spread the word about Vicki Planet. Yes. And especially for November 5th, Sunday, November 5th. Family, listen to this, okay? This is why I came to you. It says, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. Thank you all. Y'all are so sweet. Thank you. This is about us, family. This is about us. We're going to be on different places, right? And I never despise any small beginnings. Talk black to me. Okay, y'all don't play with my moderators. You see what she said? They'll have a whole block party up in this piece. She said this is the last time she's tagging somebody about being disrespected, won't be tolerated. I know that's right. So if y'all don't want no block party in this piece, watch this. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan of the Nation of Islam sue the Anti-Defamation League, ADL. How many of y'all heard of them before? And the Simon Wiesenthal Center, SWC, for the misuse of the word anti-Semite. Now, I don't know how long you all have been following me. I've been talking about this for years. How many of you all remember my in-depth, very scholarly breakdown of, in part, the ADL, but I really broke down who this Simon Wiesenthal Center was? How many of you all remember when Nick Cannon was shucking and jiving and hemming and humming and licking and lapping and genuflecting and doing acrobatics and all that madness? When they accused him of that, he apologized. He gave the people money. He went on a whole year apology tour, just made a fool of himself. He deleted, he removed videos of him and prominent black men that were talking conscience. He took all that down. How many of you all remember I gave you the history of who this Simon Wiesenthal Center folks were? How many of y'all know I even broke down Arnold Schwarzenegger's connection to them? And Arnold Schwarzenegger's dad, I believe it was, that had some type of Nazi or thereabout connection that he was trying to keep secret. And how this organization was also connected to the breakdown of the subprime mortgage scandal, and how one of their backers was involved in some of that madness. How many of y'all know Vicki went real deep? Man, that rabbit hole was so deep. How many of y'all remember that? Everybody hit that thumbs up button. Share, share, share. Some of you all may or may not remember. Thank you, Naturally, too. See, they're going to think I'm lying. She's not finna sit here and lie for me. Y'all pull it up. I was giving Nick that everlasting work. People would want me to slow down on his funny looking self. He was strong for about 5 minutes and he went straight weak. And these are some of the organizations that helped to come after him. So I went in depth to expose who they were. Well, the ADL, they're out there claiming that they're trying to protect their people, but they're really a group that has a reputation for attacking and lying on and slandering black people. Do y'all understand that? Now, I'm not going to sit up here and scream and holler and preach because I got to get ready to go because I was only really coming to give you this breaking news. But let me read a little bit of the little more of the press release. I did pull up the complaint. Y'all, the complaint ain't no joke. Y'all, just the complaint is 76 pages. And y'all, the exhibits are out of this world. Y'all think I'm kidding? I kept it up on my device. Y'all see it? That's the actual court document. The actual petition. Watch this. Let me get to it. The press release, because it breaks it down faster. Thank you again for hitting that thumbs up button. Share, share, share. Okay, here we go. It goes on October 16, 2023. Are y'all listening? On October 16, 2023, which was the 28th anniversary of the Million Man March, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan of the Nation of Islam sued the ADL, its CEO, Jonathan Greenblatt. Yeah, I'll be tearing Jonathan Greenblatt up. By the way, did you all see what the Breakfast Club just brought on Jonathan Greenblatt? I hadn't had a chance to watch the whole thing. I saw a little excerpt somewhere on social media. They love to bring them in whenever something go on, but they're not going to bring in the truth tellers. That's what gets me about our people. Y'all love to bring in the opposition to explain themselves, but you want to keep blacklisting your own people. And you wonder why all that mess is going on over there at the Breakfast Club. Talk black to me. Today. Charlamagne funny looking self can't catch a break for nothing. Keep talking about mental health, which is an important thing, but baby, don't use that as no cover for your past whatever stuff, legal stuff you got going. Then we found out his homeboy, DJ Envy, his partner, just got caught up in a criminal thing. Let me tell some of you all out there that's out there doing some stuff. Some of you that got status, that's doing this sneaky stuff behind the scene, baby, you're going to start seeing a whole lot, mark my words, you're getting ready to see a whole lot more going on with people, and it ain't just going to be about no civil. For some of you all, something else. And y'all know I don't just talk crazy. You all know I don't just talk crazy. You all know that I have gone through an unjust trial with the U.S. government. So I am very reluctant to even deal with any kind of thing like that. But when I know you dirty, when I know you dirty for real, not a target, but dirty. Talk back to me, somebody. It's a different story. Let me get to where I'm going. I'm going to get on that later. Let me leave it alone. I'm just trying to tell you, all of these court cases that's coming up, civil and criminal, it's ironic to me. Y'all going to be like, I understand what you mean later. Vicki, anybody playing with y'all funny looking self? It's a different day now, baby. And some of you don't understand that the reason why you're seeing these going down, so these wars, or you're seeing all this contention, you're seeing these legal battles, some of you all don't know that some of us had the heads up, and some of us are actually participants in spiritual councils. So we know that it is a connection. God, today I'm trying to put you on Sunday, November 5th. Because Sunday, November 5th, I'm talking to you about how the Vatican came to power. And how the Vatican, even the word Vatican, and their spiritual rituals were stolen from ancient Black prophetesses. There was a divine matriarch that was set in order, and they ruled divinely. Somebody said the other day when they saw me posting this, they said, well, I don't want to be ruled by no matriarchy, you silly knucklehead. Can't nobody say that, Vicki, man, I'm so pro-masculine. But there has to be a balance, and the world is off course because of the jealousy and the theft of these divine women. When you deal with matriarchy, matriarchy doesn't mean just all women, because there were also male priests. But it does mean that they had a unique divine influence, and it was a natural order of things. It wasn't because they were trying to be Me Too and feminist. And when they divinely ruled, the world reached its apex in science, in agriculture, in mathematics, philosophy, and civilization, in every imaginable metric and sphere. The world thrived under their leadership. And matriarchy is not just about the woman, not only with their male priests. The matriarchy deals with the bloodline, silly. God, today, do you know anything about history and even how men ruled? Who determined who ruled? Funny looking self. Don't you want to get back to power, silly? Vicki, keep going. Watch this. The press release says on October 16, 2023, which was the 28th anniversary of the Million Man March. Isn't that what I just said? The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, this is so brilliant. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan of the Nation of Islam sued the ANTl its CEO Jonathan Greenblatt, SWC, that was a Simon Wiesenthal Center that I mentioned, and Rabbi Abraham Cooper, which I know about him too, of the SWC in the Federal Court of Southern District of New York for First Amendment violations and for defamation. Somebody put a gavel in the chat before I go. See, some of our enemies be thinking we just gonna sit back and just let them. Because see, the Nation of Islam let them do this for some months and Sundays, from decades, didn't they? Somebody say, it's a new day, though. It's a new day. It's a new day. It's a new day. It's a new day and stuff. It's a new day. I'm going to tell you another reason why this is ironic in just 1 minute, but let me finish reading this press release. It says, for over 40 years, the defendants have falsely labeled Minister Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam as anti-Semites and as anti-Semitic because of the difference in theological viewpoints. And for his pointing out misbehavior of some members of their community, the Jewish community, among other things. This false labeling has hindered Minister Farrakhan. Y'all listen. Man, y'all ain't ready for to get mad. You better be magical in this season and stop playing with it. Watch this, watch this. This false labeling has hindered Minister Farrakhan in his mission, which is to deliver the truth taught by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and will correct the condition of spiritual, mental, and moral death of the Black man and woman of America that came as a result of 310 years of chattel slavery and over 150 years of oppression and suppression thereafter. Minister Farrakhan of the Nation of Islam, in bringing this action, are keenly aware that good, law-abiding citizens are likewise victims of the mischaracterization, including the late Nelson Mandela. Talk black to me! President Jimmy Carter, did y'all know they called him that too? Reverend Jesse Jackson, Bishop Desmond Tutu, and many more. The defendants have at times indiscriminately and arbitrarily mislabeled countless politicians, entertainers, athletes, authors, educators, public speakers, academics, comedians, and others as being anti-Semites and anti-Semitic simply because in many instances the speaker did not agree with the defendant's point of view, and in some instances simply because the person made a favorable comment about Minister Farrakhan and or the Nation of Islam. Y'all better hit that thumbs up button and share. Somebody say it's a new day. Man, do y'all think that this is an accident? That close to the time that I'm having my Ancestors webinar, I haven't done the Ancestors webinar in a very long time. Y'all know that. Something prophetic always happens in the government in the world whenever I get ready to do one of these. Then on top of that, for this to happen in the Nation of Islam, its own type of government, you all, I'm going to be talking about the spiritual court. I'm going to be with my brother Rod Hayes. How many of you all know about the mystic Rod Hayes? Man, he's getting ready to channel some stuff for real about the Vatican. And some more stuff about ISIS and the rest of that. And I'm going to be doing my rituals. I'm going to be doing my divine channeling. Don't sleep on me, baby. I'm the one that's going to help get you the power to manifest. See, the woman, how many of you all know that the word mother comes from the family of the words, the etymological connection to the word mater, M-A-T-E-R. The word mater, M-A-T-E-R, is where we get the word matter and material from. Don't play with it. If you want to see anything come to pass, you better connect your funny looking self to a fruitful, magical, fertile woman. See, the masculine energy tends to stay in the conscious, logical realm. But when you want something manifested and expressed, you better get you a matter maker. I'm gonna let y'all Christians, y'all finna get mad at me because y'all gonna say I'm taking the scripture out of context. You finna say this is blasphemy, but let me do my thing. And the word became flesh and dwelt among them. How does it happen? Baby, you gotta be in our womb. With your funny looking self. We're the one that's finna manifest this thing and take you to the next level. And this is my webinar. So I'm just telling you that in advance. So whatever I do there, you ain't running nothing. You there to receive. If you're looking for transformation, this is for you. Hit that link. Sunday, November 5th. VickiPlanet.com, VICKI Planet.com. Hit the link in the chat. Keep going, Vicki. I just had to throw that in there real quick. I gotta just throw that out there, baby. We the matter makers. Don't know nothing materialize or come to pass, but that's what's wrong with you. Thinking you finna just do everything running. I'm a whole goddess over here with magical ideas. And when you treat me right, your whole life flourishes, fool. I've taught you all this over the years, but let me tell you again. When you look at the word husband is an agrarian word. The word husband is a word that comes from the land. It's a word that comes from farming. It means husbandry. That's the one that tends to a garden. And if your wife is the garden, if your woman is the garden, if you tend to the garden, if you protect the garden, if you ensure the garden is nurtured and has the necessary sunlight and the nutrients and the water and so forth, if you make sure that it's protected from enemies' attacks, how many of you all know that that garden and that farm will thrive? And what do you do with a garden and a farm? You can live off the substance of its slowness. How many of you all know that a well-tended garden looks good and smell good? So you don't got to come out here talking about my woman better be a size this. She better make sure no slowness. You just tend to the garden and the garden do what it do. scientific method thinking and talking and all this rule making because you ain't no vibrational match to get that and stuff. You can be sustained when you nurture your garden. Lord, Vicki is going in today. Vicki, get back to this press release. And I'm sweating real hard. Could be a drink of water. What was I saying? They made it clear that at times the defendants, I read that already, indiscriminate and arbitrarily mislabeled countless politicians, entertainers, athletes, educators, and all that stuff, right? Listen, it says the importance of this case extends far beyond the named plaintiffs, but it encompasses every citizen of America who values the freedom of speech. The freedom to exercise his or her religion, and the freedom to associate with persons of like interests. These unjust actions by the defendants over the years have caused many to fear their censure and rebuke, which thereby significantly erodes and has a chilling effect on the protections woven into the fabric of the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution and must not be accepted. It is the will of Allah, God. Minister Farrakhan will personally address the filing of the lawsuit at a press conference in the near future. The complaint and exhibits may be accessed at NOI.org. This is powerful. Somebody put some black hand claps in the chat. I would like to congratulate the Nation of Islam. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you something. Y'all, I ain't nothing to play with. How many of you all remember I revealed to the public because I was given permission by Minister Farrakhan's office, permission to reveal that Minister Farrakhan had been asking about me for some months, and his team was shocked that they saw him watching the Vicki show. Your sister with the curly braids with a laptop and a cell phone. They knew he knew of me before because they extended a personal invitation that the minister personally signed off on me coming to an event where he did this major address about COVID in particular at the garden. And they said the minister personally signed off on me coming, and they were so gracious and extended an invitation to my mother. It was the first time I traveled out of town while I was so sick, right? I talked about that because I never traveled much like that because of some things. But that was the first trip I made for the first time when I started to travel. What a privilege, yes. So then sometime later, to be honest, while I was going through quite a bit of heavy warfare, there was a lot of people trying to censor what I said. Some of you all have no idea, some of the people that know me and that's inspired by your sister, but they keep it secret. And some of you all don't know some of the things that I go through and some of the things that the powers that shouldn't be don't want me to talk about. Even when I cross my T's, dot my I's, and follow all the rules on these different social media platforms, you will be surprised who still wants me to shut up about certain things. I'm just going to leave that alone. Vicki, what you care about Vicki? It's spiritual. This is what you all don't understand. And this is what I'm trying to raise up, an army that will move with me in this power so that we can reshape the world. See, you missing it. I keep saying this. Your open enemy recognizes your power in seed form. See, you still looking for Vicki to fill up coliseums and stadiums before you bow down to the power that's bigger than even me. I didn't say bow down to me. I said the power that's bigger than me. It's a power that's latent in you that I'm trying to activate for you and your lineage on November 5th. Your open enemy recognizes the threat when you're an infant. Upon announcement of even that your mother and your father is pregnant. Before even that, some of them are very well aware spiritually because they have spiritual practitioners from different spiritual systems that informs them of stuff. Y'all must be out your mind. Whether you are someone that says that you read it in a spiritual book or you someone that has a particular practitioner that taps into the future that gives people downloads. If you're getting the accurate information. Let me say that for somebody that's out there that thinking that you accessing something. Misdirection. I just did something right there. This is bigger than what you can see with your natural eyes. That's why I know I ain't for everybody. And what I look like submitting and acquiescing to mere mortals because you don't understand it. We are always light year ahead of mortals. This is very powerful. This is ironic, the timing of this. You know why? Because the season that we're in, you're going to start hearing more and more people being exposed legally. I'm talking about criminally and civilly. This is a judgment time, but what I was getting ready to tell you is that this is related to court. But what I want you all to understand is that there is a spiritual court that has been in session. And you need to be tapped into those energies and that power and that realm so that we will know how to properly operate on the planet. If you don't have the access that Israel does right now, wreaking havoc on the Palestinians, violating the Geneva laws, and engaging in scandalous and diabolical acts. We're very aware of that kind of stuff. There's something that's happening underneath that. I'm talking about spiritually. We have been demanding here in the United States reparations for Black Americans. That's not by accident. I've been telling you all for the longest. It is the ancestors that's working with us that's demanding that, because it's their very blood that was spilled on this land that's crying out with us. There's a seen and an unseen government. And the fact that this is happening in court is letting you all know that there's something that's going on in the higher realms, and not everybody knows what it is or what we can do about it. And I'm not going to talk about those things in this environment, which is why I'm having an outside, I'm having an offline, yes, live webinar with me and my brother, Rod. You don't want to miss Rod Hayes. You don't want to miss it. We're going to be talking about how the sacred power seat of the Vatican was stolen, what that even means when we talk about that, and some things that we can engage in now so that we can wield our powers together to retake our seat. Talk Black to me. It's a new day. Hit that link above. And it's an investment in your lineage. That's what I was trying to say. It's an investment in your lineage. If you want something that you never had, you got to do something you've never done. Somebody said, Vicki, angels protect you against bad people today and forever. You protected. I know that's right. Ashe, no question, baby. And if you know anything about me and some of my private courses, you all know that they rock with me heavy. Talk Black to me. Shout out to the Nation of Islam. I got to get ready to go, family. But I'm going to be likely discussing more of this as time goes on. So be sure to share this broadcast with you. I have a very, 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 very special broadcast on tomorrow where I'm going to be discussing, yes, the Dave Chappelle stuff. And I'm going to have a special guest, a UK journalist who's going to join me tomorrow so that he can weigh in on the goings on how Dave Chappelle getting in trouble recently. So I'm going to be posting about that tomorrow. So join me here, 2 p.m. Eastern, right here at VickiDillard.tv. But let me tell you something. Don't you all find it interesting that not only the timing of Minister Farrakhan doing is not only the prophetic connection with what's happening in the spiritual realm with the high councils and the high courts and what's happening in the natural courts on earth, but don't you all think it's interesting that while we're seeing Israel over there wreaking havoc on the Palestinian people, some of the very ones that came against him and calling him anti-Semitic and some of our other people are the ones that they taken to court. Did y'all catch that? Where my people that can pick up revelation? I mean, some of y'all don't know how to revelate like that, but that's why you got to be in my tapping my spiritual courses offline. Did y'all notice that? Did y'all notice that? Do y'all think that's an accident? Mr. Farrakhan was willing to stand against some of these very people that some of y'all was scared to death and ran away from. But here he is taking a stand, and he's been doing it, even though they came against him in every imaginable way. Talk Black to be somebody. Mama D said yes, and the minister being 90 years. You better tell him, sis. You better tell him, Mama D. Mama Deb. Y'all better pay attention to the connection. Y'all hit that thumbs up button. Share, share, share. Don't miss that. And this is the thing I would tell you all over the years. Even when people was running away from defending Kanye and all that, y'all know I ain't about that Kanye mess with him and the Kardashians and all that mess. But baby, I believe in some of the principle of what our brother said when them folks was coming after him. I'm not gonna go there on the details of it, but y'all know who them folks are. And try to destroy this man's career. Lying saying that he was anti this and that too. Remember? Let me tell y'all something. Why did I bring that up? One of the things I kept telling y'all, I don't care what black person in America they try to call that name to, tell us that we anti this and anti that. I told you don't need to be no historical scholar. You ain't got to be none of that. All you need to do is say this. Wait a minute. Foundation of Black Americans, we were just barely up from chattel slavery, still dealing with different forms of the black codes, convict leasing, and under the thick of Jim Crow, we went and fought the war to free your funny looking self from Hitler. You better watch your mouth. We fought in every war and on both sides of the war, every one of them. But especially when they come trying to tell our brothers and sisters that they anti this and what? We spilled our black blood. And it was black women and black men that fought in the war. Some of them, of course, many of the black women served as nurses and so forth, but they were enlisted. Exactly. Kyrie, Kanye, Farrakhan, Nick, all of them. How many of y'all remember I went in on Jamil Hill and some of your League of Mammy members who joined in? You ain't got to be no historian. You just need to say, wait a minute, you better watch your mouth. We spilled our black blood. We have been dealing with a 500-year Holocaust for which we've never received one penny in reparations. And America has neither ceased nor desisted her oppression of us. You better watch your mouth. We're uncheckable. I love y'all so much. I got to go. More to come. Don't miss tomorrow's very, 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 very special broadcast right here at VickiDillard.tv, 2 p.m. Eastern. I love you so much. I'm your sister with the curly braids. I bow to you. You are my bliss. I can't wait to see you again.